All right, everybody. Hey, welcome to Note Night in America. Glad to have each of them all here tonight. We'll be definitely spending a lot of time talking about two big things tonight on Note Night: finding and funding deals. We've got a lot of stuff to cover tonight, but we'll be out of here probably less than an hour. And hopefully, you grabbed a piece of paper and a pencil or something like that, take some notes on, because I think you're going to get a big kick out of tonight's coaching call or podcast or whatever you want to call it. We're excited to have you all here tonight. But anyway, everybody, we're all looking for deals and money. I think we can all attest to that. We're all right. We're all looking for the money, honey. All right. We're looking for deals to make that money. And it's been an interesting last 12 months, we can say the least, right? And the market's always constantly changing, whether you believe that or not. It is. It is getting interesting. It is changing. Markets are changing. States are changing. People are still wanting to see what's going to happen with everything that happens with COVID here. If once everything ends, hopefully they end the moratorium on foreclosures and evictions here on March 31st. It's going to be a whole different ball game with that. But still, a lot of opportunities out there. And I'll tell you this, ladies and gentlemen, there are opportunities everywhere if you know where to look. Today, I got 3 text messages from students. Hey, I got a tape in. Do you mind answering a few questions about what's on it? All right. And when I look back, I think how different this year has been. I was thinking about this the other night, thinking, okay, I've been marketing for deals since 2004. 2004, when I left left banking, started working with a couple people here, Bob Leonetti, Jimmy Kayla here in Austin, Texas. And they started teaching me creative financing. They started teaching me marketing more so than anything else. And I was very lucky in that 4-year period between 2004 and 2008 to spend a lot of time around some really creative people like Ron LeGrand. Spent a lot of time seeing Ron speak from the stage and the other people he had on his stage. If you think about 2004 through 2008, it was still pre a lot of the social media stuff that we have to this day. And along that time, about 2006, I met a guy by the name of Roland Frazier, who I learned a lot of my outside the box marketing. But I've been marketing for deals, and that's one of the things that Bob and Jimmy Stormy had me do almost immediately is I would find ways to find deals for our students, my students, people we were working with, fellow investors, going all the way back now 17 years ago. I was really good at that, and that's one of the things they recognized immediately and put me to work in the outside the box thing. That's one thing I've always, when I got started in real estate back in 2001, 2002, it's like many people, newly married, bought our first house. We didn't have a big budget for a lot of marketing out there. So I had to kind of get creative and find and identify ways that I could pull information or find where that information was that would show me where the deals were, show me the distressed borrowers, show me the distressed properties out there. So I've always, still to this day, I think it's one of the beautiful things, especially going through what I did after my divorce and everything that hit the fan in 2008, 9, and 10, how creative I had to get in marketing because I didn't have a lot of capital. The market was in a crazy time as new social media platforms, LinkedIn and Facebook and YouTube really started to come around. There's a lot of great things I've embraced and utilized going forward. Now, some people will not like this, but I find that non-direct mail works best. Yes, I'm not dropping thousands of dollars each month on postcards or yellow letters. And it still drives me bonkers. You've heard me probably talk about that last couple of weeks, how for most investors, you're really kind of bootstrapped, all right? When you're getting into this, you have a full-time job, but you're getting into real estate oftentimes because you're trying to make money on the side or do some other things, okay? And most investors we found don't have that $5,000 a month to drop in. They may have $50 or $100 a month. And I put myself back in my shoes when I first got started as an investor. I was excited to send out 100 postcards or 100 yellow letters or 100 letters to foreclosure listings. And I was all excited to get that 1, 2, 3% response rate. But it was really competitive out there. Now, the beautiful thing about notes and note investing, we're not doing any direct mail usually, unless we're kind of marketing direct to investors. And that's pretty targeted. It's not trying to fight 50 or 60 or even in some cases 100 other investors that are mailing to that same list. So, and with everything being crazy like it has been the last 12 months, people are more strapped financially when it comes to marketing. So they don't have the money for envelopes, for paper, for printing, for postcards, for stamps. They just don't have it. But they do have a hunger. They do want to have their side hustle. And as I say side hustle, the 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. kind of side hustle. That's the Gary Vee kind of things. For those of you guys that working the graveyard shift, maybe it's 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. But a lot of people have time for side hustles, but the thing that's always difficult, thinking back this weekend, thinking back the past week, because it's been a very interesting week around here in Austin. I don't even want to get into it, but it's just been an absolutely interesting week. I feel like 10 days suddenly just got sucked out of me, with other things that we were dealing with here locally, anything bad, but stuff locally here in our neighborhoods and with the city that it just kind of was an interesting thing. So I really been sitting here this last week, especially this weekend, sitting outside my backyard, watching my smoker grill prior to the game, thinking about, everybody out there is trying to make things happen, trying to make ends meet, trying to make their side hustle work. And I really put myself back in my shoes and started thinking about, okay, what were some of the great things that we did have had the most impact on my students? What's the things that have had most impact not only on me, but others out there, okay? And as I think about all the people that I've coached, I've coached really, golly, thinking about it, almost over 1,000 people in the last 10 years, all right? It's hard to believe that, but you think about it, it's more than that as far as, now, one-on-one coaching is I think it's about 400, 500 one-on-one students, stuff like that. But thinking back to all the investors I've taught and worked with, it's got a comma on there, somewhere between 1,000 and 5,000 people. And I look back, and I was talking to somebody the other day. Somebody asked me the other day, what's our success ratio of people come to our workshops, come to our training? And I'm like, well, they get, and I think about everybody that does this. They're going to these other expos, these other seminars, whether it's in person or online. And the thing is that most people, they take time away from their job, time away from their families, and then they're really literally drinking out of a fire hydrant for 3 days. If you think about all the knowledge, being all that water that's coming to your face, you're only able to grasp just a tad bit of it, a small amount. And that's why anybody you talk to, educator-wise, real estate, tiddlywinks, marketing, whatever it is, I guarantee that they'll all agree that the success ratio of people right out of the box is probably around 5 to 10% of people that actually will implement and take things in stride and go with. And why is that? Well, they're overwhelmed. Especially if you're going from class to class to class to add more tools to your tool belt, you get overwhelmed. We all get overwhelmed, and we just miss on stuff. We only grab a little bit the first time around. Second time around, we grasp it better the second time, better the third time. Finally, after you've got more repetitions, and the rule of being an expert, you spend 10,000 hours doing something. That's a lot of time doing it. But a lot of people we don't have the patience or don't understand, can't see immediate impact on what we do. Because a lot of times it's like we're chasing our head. Well, I got to go get this done. I got to get this done. I got to get this done. We often feel like you have to get those proverbial ducks in a row before you have any type of success in marketing, in finding deals, or even raising capital. And then you also have that proverbial what comes first, the chicken or the egg. Do I need to go raise capital first before finding a deal, or do I need to find deals first and then use that experience to go raise capital? Well, a lot of it goes hand in hand with both. Okay. And I went back, and it's one thing I'm very, very proud of the fact that with our different past events, I don't know why that popped up first, but when I look back at our surveys on Note Camp, have you ever been to Note Camp, one of our mid-year conferences? You can go to notecamp.live. We got early bird tickets out there right now. But we always ask those right before the event, a survey. Hey, what are your biggest needs? What are your biggest strengths? What are you looking to get the most out of? At Note Camp, it was overwhelming. Number one is need for deal source. People are looking for deals, okay? And when you look at some of the things we've posted in Note Nation in the Facebook group, if you aren't a part of Note Nation, you go to notenationfb.com and register. It's the same thing. I need help with finding deals. When we ask there, what are you looking for? What do you need to help with? Whether it's an email or a post. When I asked that over the last couple of weeks, some of you guys have been very gracious in sharing, and I thank you very much, because I know that if one person says something, it's probably 10 to 15 other people out there see it, they answered it for me, okay? Now, when I look at and start thinking back to the questions I get and the different flyers that we've taken from other groups that I've been a part of, or events where I've spoken at, conferences, from Noteworthy to Paper Source to all the other ones out there, webinars with Paper Stack and the Note Close Show, and I look back at the questions I get, not only on my podcast and webinars from you guys and others, but also from me speaking other people's stuff. It's a lot of questions, and it all falls into a lot of the same things, okay? Is need deal sources, okay? The top questions asked, number one, overwhelmingly, is a need for deal sources. I need deals, since I can't go out and find foreclosures, or I can't find REOs. And this comes across the board everywhere. Everybody asks me looking for deal flow. I need apartments. I need hotels. I need non-performing. I need performing. You got owner finance, or you got first, seconds. That's the thing. Need for deal sources. Okay. I need to find. Okay. Now, number 2 request is I like looking at deals, but now, oh crap, I need help with that money sound. Ring it, Scott. I need help with funding or raising capital because I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to look because I'm inexperienced. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen, I want to for those of you that mind block or you're struggling right now, guess what? Everybody has dealt with it at some point. Everybody goes through mind blocks. Everybody has ups and downs. Everybody has that limiting belief sometimes when you get to something new. We're scared to step outside our comfort zone. Yeah, I did a Clubhouse Live with Mark Victor Hansen on Friday, and I was very surprised. We did it for about an hour 15. It's like only the second Clubhouse room I've posted, but if you don't know Mark Victor Hansen, he's the author of Chicken Soup for the Soul. We've had him on the podcast, 500 million copies of his book sold across the world. And he was a mentor that I looked to early on years ago when I went after my divorce and really looked at it. And he talked about, hey, everybody struggles with these things. And I'm looking at, and then Sharon Lecter popped on, who we're both mutual friends with and spent almost an hour with us. And Greg Reed popped up for a few minutes, a few others. And I was really just kind of cracking up that my database, my tribe, I'm, 1 degree away from those folks. But I all started off not knowing anything. You think about all the books that Sharon's written and Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and that series. And, what I'm trying to get at, ladies and gentlemen, is if you're struggling with these things, guess what? You're normal. What do I do now? Normal. Okay. And the thing, number 3, which falls in line for number 1 and number 2, which most people don't realize this, is the marketing side. You have to spend some time marketing your business, but this falls back. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. And a confused mind, as we all know, is a no mind. A confused mind says no, but also, unfortunately, takes no action. And you need somebody there to help guide you along the way. And it is like drinking out of a fire hydrant these days. When you go to a 2-day, 3-day, 4-day, it's like drinking out of a fire hydrant. And God knows I talk twice as fast as most people. Okay. And number 4 is always about systems. Systems. Oh, how do I do this? How do I set up my vendors? How do I set the contracts? There's a miscellaneous of things. But honestly, 75% falls into deal sources, funding sources. Those are the 2 biggest. That's always over like 50%. And then the small third is marketing, and the 4th is systems and a variety of other things. Okay. That's how it always plays out. And I'm never surprised by seeing that. No matter when I run that survey to new groups of people, new groups of investors, it always falls in there. So one of the things that I want to do is I sat back yesterday, today, and I just a brain dump. And I said, okay, what are the top 20 things that we do on a regular basis for finding deals? Okay. What are the top 5 things? Top 5 things that are really pretty consistently, if anybody can do for the most part. Well, first thing is using LinkedIn to search. You've heard me talk about that, jumping on, typing in special asset managers on LinkedIn, typing in secondary marketing managers, typing in whole loan trading desks. There's a whole variety of things on LinkedIn. Now, I'm not talking about paying for it, okay? All right, and we've all got to start somewhere. You've just got to start doing some things, all right? You've got to get yourself knowledgeable. If you don't know how to turn a computer on, I can't help you. If you don't know how to send an email out, I can't help you. Those are some specific things you have to do. And many of us want to go from A to Z. We want to skip all that stuff in the middle. And I'm sorry, you can't do that. You've got to go back A to B to C to D, really kind of build that knowledge base. But the first thing, it's always one of the easiest things that everybody can do at any given time is using LinkedIn to search for special asset managers, secondary marketing managers, whole loan trading desk, whole loan sales, chief credit risk officer. You can set up a free LinkedIn profile, make it look nice, set up some things, finish it completely, and use that to search. That's one of the best things that you can do. That's number 1, okay? Number 2 is if you got a little bit of money, $165 roughly, you can buy laneguide.com, and It's really easy to log into landguide.com. Heck, get 2, 3 of you to split the cost, or 4 of you to split the cost. You get one login, and you can jump on there and actually look for REO asset manager as a search, but it also has special asset managers. And it's really nice to run the search on there. Literally in like 5 minutes, you can find 700 to 900 note asset managers, special asset managers on different banks with their name, phone number, email address. Now, what you do with that is up to you, whether you do pick up the phone or you put them in an email list and you mark it out to them. You got to do something with that information. But that was one of the first things that I do, and I still do it to this day. I jump on Landguide. I still, to this day, I was in there searching for something today. It's one of the most valuable things. Not $165 a year. It's not Distress Pro. People ask me all the time, what's the difference between Landguide and Distress Pro? Well, Landguide's more of like a Yellow Pages. Distress Pro basically can take the FDIC list and try to give you more specific information. I'd rather blast the side of the barn versus trying to find the needle in the haystack. So that's my philosophy. Distress Pro, great program. If you want to spend the money, but you've got to do yourself a favor and not do such a deep dive down into the data. You got to pull yourself back. My big idea is I want to get as much out as I possibly can. That's why I like Landguide. It's one of the easiest things to do. If you spend 5-10 minutes on there, it's pretty easy to find a list of contacts that you start reaching out to. Low-hanging fruit. Okay. Third thing, this is another freebie thing you've heard me talk about at our workshops before. If you've been on our workshops, is going to your state mortgage or loan officer licensing website to find mortgage bankers that are licensed to business in your state. Not every state will have these. Some states will just have kind of kicked the can down to the national MLS, National Mortgage Loan Origination website. They don't have any type of department where you can do individual searches. Texas is one of those nice states that does have it with the Texas Savings and Mortgage Lending Department. I can jump on there in roughly 10 minutes. I can pull a list of about 3,000 mortgage bankers, servicing companies, and mortgage companies out there. Okay. And that's a great thing with company names, emails, and phone numbers. And that helps with the marketing aspect, helps with direct phone calls or uploading that list into LinkedIn. A lot of great things in there. That's free. That's totally free for you to do. It doesn't cost anything. God bless Texas, baby. We like to give information for free, but that's still a very valuable thing to get the word out when you're doing, to make the most amount of contacts in any given moment. Now, if I had to start all over, these would be the 3 things that I would start off with. 4. I know, not the most happy thing, but literally dialing for dollars and calling asset managers, calling bankers, calling those, looking to see if those have sold anything in your state, if they're licensed to do business in your state or other states, whatever state you're looking at. But picking up the phone and dialing for dollars is a valuable thing to do still to this day. Now, many of you that are working during the day, you can't do this. That's okay. Can't do it, then spend the time on LinkedIn. If you got time, whether it's early in the morning or late in the afternoons, it's so worth calling those asset managers, because a lot of them may not see emails. If you leave a voice message, it's just that extra touch, the extra way of touching. And if you notice, we talk about LinkedIn, emails, and then phone calls. That's 3-touch approach right there. Okay. And the sooner you can get past that 5th touch or that 5th connection or the 5th time you're in front of somebody, you have more likely for things to happen. Because as we always say, 80% of sales happens after the 5th contact. All right. Important. Those are things. So if you've got email, a phone, and internet, that's about all you need right there. If you've ever been on our calling banks list, you've seen me making phone calls to asset manager, making things happen. Now, I wanted to throw this little wrinkle into it as well. Top 5 is Scotsman Guide. Is another free service to find commercial notes. A lot of people like, oh, I'm looking for hotels. Okay. I'm looking for motel. I'm looking for a self-storage apartments. Okay, great. You're not going to find them most of the time looking for somebody, but you will find them by going to Scotsman Guide and finding banks or private institutions that are lending on that asset class. And Scotsman Guide, guess what? It's free. It's budget friendly. It's also something you can do after hours if you work full time. A lot of times they'll give you the wholesale contact name or pricing desk on these websites. If you do a search on Scotsman Guide, like you're trying to finance an asset, you're looking for a loan. That's how you kind of use the commercial side. But it'll give you a list of portfolio lenders, other lenders out there. And it's an easy thing to spend some time on, knock out 8, 10, 12, especially for those of you guys that are looking for commercial deals. And a lot of you are. And we know that commercial notes, commercial properties are going to affect the market first before your residential stuff is. We're already starting to see that stuff now. That's why I put Scotsman at number 5. Those would be the top 5 things that I would do to be finding deals. Now, the list is a lot longer, but I wanted to open it up for questions right now. If anybody's got a question, you know, I know some of you, how many of you have done at least one of these things? If you want to raise your hand really fast, let me look at the participants. Some of you guys, if you've raised your hands, we got a few of you that have raised your hands. Great. Thank you, Smitty. Thank you, Tim, Wayne, Rob, Derek. Awesome. Laura, Linda. Good stuff. Susan, Chris. I love it. I love it. Some of you have done it. Others are like, I'm so confused. What is lane guide? Is that a guide to stay in my lane while I'm driving? All right. No, it's a service. Okay. Now we had somebody, let's see, you got chat roll here. Laura Power says, brand new to this. That's okay. There is nothing wrong with being brand new, Laura. That's what I love the most. Okay. Alice says, one of my biggest problems after lack of time and money is I go to a boot camp and feel like, okay, I can do this, and then try to do something. I have absolutely no idea how to get started. So here's the thing that you need. Find an accountability partner, Alice. You're not the only person. Hey, I can do this, but know how I do to get started. There's every boot camp you go to or conference you go to, hey, how do I get started? What are the basic things I need to do? And I know at the end of my workshops, the last thing I do most of the time is give you a top 10 to 15 things. Hey, here's what you need to do when you get home. And if you've never gone back and watched the replays, guess what? That's what I would go do. Because I do that with every workshop I taught. What are the top 10 or 15 things during my 3-day? Especially at the end, what do you need to do to implement? What do you need to start doing to surround yourself, to start getting those juices going? And Laura, as she says, brand new. Yeah, prayer hands, ain't no problem. Because we all got to start, all right? But there's a lot of other things that you could do. I mean, I could go on and on, but I'm not going to go through those top 20 right now because you'd be more confusing, okay? But I made a quick list of the things that I've used to find notes that still work to this day. There's over 20, but we're just going to stick to the top 20 there for you. I'll get that later on, but that's just finding. I want to start you off easy, finding. Let's talk about funding. Oh my gosh, I got to raise money. Yes, I get that. You need money to close note deals. And I don't care if you've got your own funds. I've had phone calls from people who have their own funds. Like, oh my God, I got more deals accepted than I expected. How do I get proof of funds from my investors? Or I've got people that are coming to me. And I'm like, here's some simple things that you could do. Raising capital is really not that hard. There's a lot of people out there that have money, retirement accounts, savings accounts, 401ks, it's now a 101k, whatever, CDs, sitting on the sidelines looking for an above average return. You just need to share that you got a deal. And he who holds the gold makes the rules. And in this world, the gold is not the capital. Now, I know my buddy Joel Block with Bullseye Capital will argue with that on a bigger scale. And I would agree with him when you start going that bigger route. But when you first start off, as you're reaching and communicating and networking with people in your warm market or your real estate clubs, everybody's looking for deals to fund. And if you've got the deal and it's a good deal, and when you talk about due diligence and things, but if it actually makes sense, you actually hold the gold, not the funding. In today's world where capital is cheap and there's a lot of it sitting on the sidelines, the actual gold is the deal. Okay. Now, one of the easiest ways to raise capital is just to talk about case studies, whether it's your own case studies or somebody else's case studies. That's the number one way to start raising capital. Just start sharing it. These are the types of deals that we do. And I've seen it again and again and again. I could give you story after story of students, whether they've gone to the virtual workshop or they come to part of our one-on-one coaching, who took what we took in hand and said, here, go use these case studies, go talk about the types of deals, know these 4 case studies, know the 4 deals that you're working on. Do your due diligence. Don't, when you go and talk from somebody, just talk about these points, share this. Don't be afraid of the elephant. Sharing case studies builds rapport and also shows expertise because you know exactly what you're talking about, okay? But that's always the number one way to raise capital, is sharing case studies with your warm audience, whether it's in person, in social media, via email. That's how, as I would like to say, the BAM, if you're an Emerald fan, the BAM that gets people really interested in what you're doing. But you've got to share it on a repeat basis. 8% of sales, 8% of funding is funded after the 5th contact. You've got to share that. You got to stick with it, because we've all been a part, if you're an entrepreneur of any sort, want to make money, have a side hustle, we've all been a part of that Sensi phase, that, Quick Star or Amway, or what's this crazy rap thing, whatever it is, Primerica, whatever. we've all done things that have kind of burnt the bridges with our low-hanging, very warm-natured friends and family. Oh, it's just another thing that guy or gal's doing, right? Raise your hand if you've ever done anything like that in the last 5, 10, 20 years. Yeah, most of us had. We're entrepreneurs. We want to do this, okay? Yep, thank you for being honest. Thank you for sharing. I love it. Thank you for sharing so much. Avon and Fuller Brush for 20 years. That's awesome. All right, so moving on. After case studies, what's the next thing that's good at raising capital? Saying it, and this is the thing, sending out regular emails to your database or my database. And this is called the drip marketing campaign. And we're not talking every day, every hour. They actually say that the number one, the people and the marketers that send emails on a daily basis have the lowest unsubscribe rate, which I kind of like, does that mean people just stopped ignoring, just started ignoring and put them in the junk folder? But sending out something once a week is not difficult. And we've all, if you've been to my workshops, anything, you've heard me talk about the 4 topics. So there's basically 4 weeks in every month for the most part. There is sometimes 4.5, almost 5 in some cases. Talk about something, the holiday. There's always a holiday going. It's 1 week. Talk about something you're going networking to, something you're doing personal. And then a case study or two, something you learned, something, a case study, a news article. Very simple just to share. You could do it via emails, you could do it via video, Facebook posts. Sharing to your tribe is one of the most valuable things to do because you've got to start building momentum. Your tribe thinks of you as the Avon lady or the Full Brush or the Quick Star or that crazy rap gal, okay? They don't think of you as a note investor. They don't think of you as a real estate investor. They're used to drinking beer with you on your patio on the weekend or seeing you out in your garden or whatever you're doing, your neighbors and friends and family. They don't think of you as the note investor or a real estate investor unless you've been doing it for a while. So you've got to start sharing this journey. If you stop sharing your journey while you're working on, guess what? You lose all credibility and all momentum that you've worked so hard to build. And this is not difficult, okay? Third thing, it's really easy in raising deals, and it's literally at your fingertips, is finding self-directed IRA investors on the County Appraisal District website for most of you states out there. Netra Online, free website. Most county appraisal districts, you can get in free. You can search for names. There are 50 plus self-directed IRA custodians out there. In minutes, you can find hundreds of other investors who are real estate investors who have money, and guess what? They have pulled the trigger on deals, and guess what? They're looking for deals to fund, okay? It's not, I got to teach note investing and twiddly dinks, whatever it is, to my friends who have no clue. These are educated people. It's like shooting fish in a barrel. It's easy to do. We've been doing it for years. It's not hard to reach out. You just got to reach out online, and then actually, this will be the only direct mail that we do. Now, if it's in your local community, you may often be able to find people online these days. You can reach out on social. Not hard to do, okay? Not hard to do. Question here from somebody. Ed Bus asks, what's a SDIRA? Self-directed individual retirement account, Ed, is that what it stands for? And I'm talking about companies like Quest, Equity Trust, Pensco, NewView, Mid-Atlantic, IRA Services. There's a whole list of them. Rocket Dollar out there that are using creating self-directed IRAs. That's what SDIRA stands for. Thank you for asking, okay? How do you know they are self-directed IRAs on the county site? How do I know that? Because I've seen it. Because if you go and search Schmitty, if you go to Travis County, Williamson County, you type in the name, because if somebody uses their IRA, their self-directed IRA to buy a property on the appraisal district, it's not Smitty Smith. It's Equity Trust for the benefit of Smitty Smith, or it's Quest Trust Company for the benefit of Scott Carson. So that's why you go search. You go to the county appraisal district, type in those names. It will pull everybody up as long as your county allows for you to search by owner names, not property addresses, because you don't have that, but it will show you their addresses. We went through this on our last 3-day virtual workshop. If you missed it, you better go back and watch the replays. That's worth $1,500 if you've not been, okay? Oh yeah, duh, I have one. Okay, just need a refresher. It's February, okay? Check it out. But this is one of the most effective ways. Is if you're scared, don't have an email list, guess what? Go find investors in your county or the counties you're investing in, all right? Number 4, networking with other investors, okay? going to your local real estate clubs, jumping on meetup groups, jumping on webinars, Zooms. Look, there's so many Facebook groups or LinkedIn groups out there for you to go network. It's one of the most effective things to do. But the idea isn't just to join and show up. It's literally reaching out. If you're in a Facebook group and you see somebody post something interesting, guess what? Reach out to them. One of the things, there's a couple things that I track on Instagram. One's real estate investors or note investors or real estate podcasts. And that's what I do. Say real estate investors, it pops up in my feed. I'll send an invite to them. Hey, I would like to connect with you. What are you focused on? What are you looking to do? Same thing. I'll use LinkedIn to network with other investors on there. Note investors, real estate Houston, note investors, Ohio. Networking with investors. You have to start those conversations. And you know what? In this virtual world we're all in, you can do this at home basically free. You just have to spend some time on your side hustle to do it. But you don't know how to do it. I know it's a lot of things, but you just do a little bit each day, a little bit each day. And I'll talk about how doing a little bit each day to implement things can go a long way for you. All right. Because I know Alice, like he said, you get so excited about 4 or 5 days, you don't know where to begin. You come home and you're like, oh crap, I've got 2 hours before I got to go to work today. Or I got 3 hours. What can I do? Well, there's the Stands on TV on CBS. That's a pretty good movie. That's an hour of my time. We don't want to watch that. Come on. But networking with other investors is still the most effective ways because you're in that warm body. Yeah, your money might be a little bit more expensive. You may have to give half a deal or 10 or 12%, but still, that's better to get your first couple of deals done until you've built some experience and got things rocking and rolling, okay? Thank you, Laura. We'll come to that in a second. Yes, podcasting is amazing for networking. It's one of the things that I love doing is being a guest or having people on my podcast or just talking to other real estate podcasters out there. So yes, thank you so much for sharing that, Laura. All right, networking with other investors is a great way, especially podcasting and podcasting groups that are in that space. That's one of the things that we've done is people that I've been on their podcast and they've had me on theirs. I create a group on Facebook for 350 other people, and it's just a great community of networking. Don't have to have a huge group to get things done, okay? Now, number 5, conferences. All right, whether it's a note conference or REI conference, real estate investing conferences, we're talking about real estate investing. It's another great place to go to find investors and financiers. Now, I'm not talking about meetup groups. I'm actually talking about true and tried conferences. Like my buddy Dan Hanford from Multifamily Investor Nation just had a big conference, I think last week and the week before, like 1,500 or 2,000 people. When we do note camp, we'll consistently have 300, 500, sometimes 1,000 plus people on it. Linda Pelagas with Realty 401 has been doing some virtual summits, so she does 500 or 1,000. Now, if those are virtual, it's hard to connect with people. Usually we got a Facebook group. That's a great place. But when you get to going back and attending things, there are some conferences out there that literally give away the goodies. I mean, they literally give away the goodies, whether it's like the Quest Expo or even the Note Expo, or there are other places like that that you can go to in person when they do come back, or virtually when people are going to it. Hey, if you just spend a little bit of time, you give your full attention to being there and being present, and then reaching out to people that you see pop up or asking questions or people that use that in their hashtags or their marketing, it's a great way to find other investors to fund your deals. Because a lot of people have money, they just don't have the time. And if you've got the time and you've got the deal flow, you're just missing that money. And you can often bring people together. People that have money and looking to fund, you've got deals and time. There you go. That's a good match in heaven. When I first started off, that's the thing that we had to do. That's what everybody starts off doing, is networking. And you want to surround yourself with like-minded people. Now, I wouldn't necessarily say like going to conferences that aren't in your wheelhouse. Like me going to PodFest is something I go to every year, speak at. It's not a great place to raise capital for me because there's not a lot of real estate investors. There might be a small niche of real estate investors that I can network with. It might be a possibility, but you want to go something that's really real estate focused and real estate investing focused. I mean, there are all sorts of events that take place, even in social distancing, that you go network and stay 6 feet apart with your mask on. Okay. You still make some things happen. All right. But those are top 5 things. Now, thinking back beyond the top 5 things, so those are things every one of you should be doing. And it's pretty low hanging fruit. Okay. Now, how many of you have done at least 1 or 2 of those things out of the top 5? Raise your hands for me, ladies and gentlemen. Come on. Drum roll, please. Got some of you raising your hands. Others like, oh, no. I mean, I got my hands full with my burger tonight or whatever you're eating. That's fine. Thank you for sharing. For those that shared, I appreciate it. Okay. Now, when I sat down this weekend, because like I said before, I sat down and thought about, okay, what are the top 20 plus things that we do to find deals? I also thought about what are the top 20 plus ways that things that we do to raise capital that we've done over the years that would still be applicable in today's chaotic market. All right. And I made a list of them. Okay. You saw the first 5. There's a whole lot of other things out there that we do that you can do as well if you just know how to do it. But the biggest thing, like we said before, when you see 20, 30 things and they're thrown at you in an hour, a day, a webinar, it's confusing. It's drinking out of that fire hydrant. So what we have done, and I'm really excited about this for you guys. I really am. I'm really excited. Tell you what, I've been working on this. I thought I would have this out this week. I had to push it to next week because of everything going on here city-wise, but I'm really excited. I've put together a free 5-day challenge for all of you. All right. Basically, it kicks off next Monday. I was thought about doing this weekend, but I was like, wait, it's Valentine's weekend. Some people are taking off Friday for a little or more. So we could talk about falling in love with notes after Valentine's Day. But basically, put together a 5-day note investing challenge kicking off Monday night. That's right, next Monday night at 7 o'clock. That's what Note Night in America will be about next Monday night, is the first thing that we'll be talking about. And what I'm going to do over the 5 days, and actually going into 20 days, if you go to 5daynotes.com, you can kind of see the agenda. What I'm going to do is we're going to focus for 5 days, the top 5 ways. I'm going to spend a night, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday next week. In an hour, hour and a half, I'm going to spend half the call on finding deals on one topic. And then the second half of the call will be on one topic of funding deals. So instead of trying to slam you with 20 things in an hour webinar, we're going to break it down, as I say, in fun-sized or bite-sized chunks. And 5 days, it's free. There's no cost to you guys in the 5 days. Stuff like I said, we're going to be doing it on Monday through Friday. One lesson on finding deals, one lesson on funding deals in the same night. You can take notes and you can kind of start putting your game plan together. I do a little bit of this, a little bit of this. Okay. Now, first 5 days are free. I'm actually doing a full 20-day blitz where we are going to focus on the 20 items, 20 ways to find deals, 20 ways to fund deals. And the second half of that, the 15 days are not free, but guess what? The first 5 days, if you like that, you can jump into it. And we've made the cost very affordable for everybody who's interested in wanting to learn more and take it to the next level. And if you know how I teach, you know I'm going to give you a lot of goodies, a lot of deep content, and helping you find more deals and fund more deals and marketing out there before. All right. We have a Facebook group, free Facebook group. When you register, you'll get a link back on the thank you page that will give you a link to go to the Facebook group and join it. All right. I'm looking to get 500 people in that Facebook group here in the next 7 days. I think we can do it, definitely. But it's got a free Facebook group. We'll be distributing the calls via Zoom or live. If you can't make it 7 p.m. on all 5 days, don't worry about it. We'll upload the videos so you can catch the replay. Okay. But you've got to register to have access. So you've got to register at 5daynotes.com. All right. That's the website, 5daynotes.com. It'll take you to a page there for it. It's free to get in there. Your first name, your email, you're into the 5 days. Now, if you want to stick around longer after 5 days, we've got 2 kind of passes for you guys that are available, and gals. And it's 2. One's affordable. One's a little bit more with a little bit more goodies for you, but it's affordable for everybody's budget for you. Okay. And 5 days. All right. We'll do after 5 days. We sending out a daily video with those 2, a video on finding and a video on funding. All right. For days 6 through 20. We'll just be doing this Monday through Fridays. We're not doing anything on the weekend. We'll do a recap call on Fridays though. We'll do like a recap call Fridays where it'll be group Q&A. People ask questions. Hey, can you tell me a little bit more about what we discussed on Monday or Tuesday? It's a great way for you guys to communicate. I got questions here for you. It's 5daynotes.com. It's exactly like it shows there. 5daynotes.com. It works. Thank you, Daryl. I appreciate it. Yep. Simple 5-day notes. You don't spell out the 5. Look at the website. Look at the page here, 5daynotes.com. Okay. We'll be doing these on Zoom and Facebook. All right. And the beautiful thing is, like I said, it's at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So it's 5 o'clock on the West Coast. It's 8 o'clock on the East Coast. It's kind of the best time for everybody. If you can't make it all 5 days, guess what? The replays, you'll be able to watch those replays, okay? And we'll do those recap calls Friday the 26th of February, and then also the 5th and 12th of March. So this is really a 4-week thing for you guys, Monday through Friday, over the next couple of weeks to work through for you, okay? Now, there's 2 choices, 2 price points for you after day 5. You can jump into the Gold Pass, which is just $99, or you could jump in the VIP Pass, which is $299. All right, that's a $299 VIP option. Now, how does those break down? Pretty simple, not anything difficult. So on the $99 Gold Pass, you'll still be able to watch the videos in Facebook group. You'll be able to take part in those recap calls. You'll get access to all 20 days of content, and you'll get replays, not to all 30 days, sorry, replays to all 20 days. Okay. Now, the $299 VIP comes with a little bit their VIP service. You do get all the things included with the gold access. You get the fact to be live with me on Zoom when I do the calls, and you can ask live, front row, Q&A. You don't have to wait and see me answer questions. You can literally come on live on Zoom. That's worth the questions when you're trying to implement some things, trust me, okay? Slides that we put together, the transcripts for the calls, any other sample forms are going to be included because we're going to use some sample forms. That's part of the VIP access. All right. Yes, you'll get templates and forms that we go through specific things on both the finding and the funding side of things that will be included for you. Okay. And at the end of 20 days, we'll do a 1-day VIP class on a Saturday for all the VIP members to kind of a quick recap, and then a workshop more so than anything else. 1 day right now, maybe 2 days, depending on how many people end up signing up for the VIP. Okay. But we're also going to go and throw in 3 special bonuses that when you add them all together for you guys individually, it's over $1,000. Okay. And I'm not going to release those bonuses until we get past the 5 days. So, and I will tell you, we get past the 5 days, the price on these is going to go up. So I want to incentivize you guys. Hey, if you're interested, guess what? You can go through the 5 days for free. Okay. Or you can take advantage and grab your VIP pass and gold pass right now for you guys. But it's a lot of great information. One of the most popular things people have said over the last couple of years that we did, and we did this a couple of years ago, is when we did a 30-day sprint on finding deals, and then we did a 30-day sprint on funding deals, and they were part of some of our training in the past. Well, that's been outdated. It's time to update it here for you. So I wanted to give this to you tonight as a very special price, very way to get in, connect, network with people, and really get ready to learn next week. Okay, Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Central next Monday through Friday. After that, we'll be recording throughout the day. You'll have the links and stuff like that, but then it'll be an email or a video that gets posted for you guys there. Now, if you choose not to sign up for the gold or the VIP pass, no problem. You're good in the Facebook group, but after the 5th day, we'll remove you from the Facebook group. So you don't get to hang around there if you aren't paying for something. But anyway, one thing here, if you are an existing WCN group member, guess what? This is included. You get a VIP pass if you're a WCN group member. If you're not, guess what? You missed out again, ladies and gentlemen. So if you go to, like I said, go to the website. I'm going to leave it up for questions here, but if you go to 5daynotes.com, it'll allow you to get logged in. It'll allow you to register. There are a couple of things. When you do register, I'm going to ask 2 things. One, you go over and ask to join the Facebook group. Make sure we know who you are. You have to have a personal page on Facebook, not a business page. Another thing that you need to do is make sure you add my email, scott@weclosenotes.com, to your safe lists. I see a lot of people are getting my stuff into their spam folder. So make sure you go add scott@weclosenotes.com to your safe list. And then also, once we approve you, I want you to upload a photo or video so we get a chance to know a little bit more about you in the Facebook group. And we got some other things that we'll throw in, some other goodies along the way to make this fun, but we're really excited about this, and I'm pretty stoked. I think it's be a great thing, but it's, like I said, gives you a little bit of something, one thing to learn each day on finding and funding. And my biggest thing is now we'll have the opportunity to learn one thing. Hey, go implement this. You don't have to learn 20 things. Go implement what we're doing right now. As you're watching this, go over to LinkedIn, go up and put the Netra online and do this and kind of follow along as we get rocking and rolling for you guys. So open it up for questions right now. Yeah, so in the chat roll, we put this in here in the chat roll. It's pretty easy. It's just 5-day notes. Sorry, guys. Maybe you guys didn't have it. 5daynotes.com. All right, that's literally the link there for you guys, 5daynotes.com. Let me share my screen with a new share here, and it'll take you straight to the website. I should have it up here. Thought I did. 5daynotes.com. Let me stop my screen, stop my sharing. But design here for you guys, like I said, we're trying to have a lot of fun. There we go. Let me reshare my screen now. And really want to give you guys a look. So 5daynotes.com. This will take you to the website. Click here. This will take you straight into registering to get your free pass to it for the first 5 days. Starts off next Monday, but 5daynotes.com. You can see the URL up there. If you, it gives you a bit of an idea of what we're going to spend the first 5 days on. We're going to spend day one on using LinkedIn for the finding, and then using case studies on the funding side. Okay. Tuesday, we'll talk about Lang Guide on the finding, and then email blasts on the funding side. Third day, Wednesday, we'll talk about state licensing websites on the finding side, and then using the county appraisal district on the funding side. Thursday, dialing for dollars on the finding, and then networking on the funding side. Some things I think you'll really be surprised about the networking stuff. Question here from somebody. You're welcome, Laura. Okay. And then on Friday, next Friday, we'll talk about Scotsman Guide on the finding side, and then conferences on the funding side. Now, I have not, what I will do is be releasing the schedule as we get closer there. I'm organizing the remaining 15 on the finding deals and then the funding side. But guys and gals, usually something like this, we usually offer up at $5.99 is what most people end up paying. This is why we're coming in at 50 cents on the dollar, what we should normally be charging for this. So we want to give everybody a deal to tap into the knowledge so that you have no excuses. If you want to get signed up instead of just clicking on there, if you've clicked on there, great. You can always go down to the bottom down here. If you guys should have gotten a thank you page as well. But you can also go down here and RSVP directly for your gold pass or the VIP pass at the bottom down here. Questions? Baker. I don't know, Baker. State regulation for loan servicing and holding. That's more on the licensing side. That's not on the finding deals or the funding side. Well, I'll be talking about, I don't know if that's the question here. State licensing, sorry. I mean, it should have said state licensing websites where you can find up like the Texas Savings and Mortgage Lending and a few other states out there to see who's licensed to do business in your state. That's what I meant by that as far as finding deals. Thanks, Baker. Baker. All right. But guys and gals, love for you to be a part of it. 5daynotes.com. Get signed up tonight and you get ready to rock and roll and be ready for come Monday for you. Get that gold or VIP pass and save you some money and get access to everything here, not just in the 5 days, but the full 20 days of stuff out there. All right. Love for you all to be a part of it. Any questions, comments, concerns? I'd love to hear your feedback from you guys that are out here tonight on Note Night America. Hey, Ed. Hey, Janelle. Hey, Linda. Anthony, Barry. Good to see you guys out there. Chris, Charles, just talking about you today, Mr. Salmon. Daryl, Doug, what's up? Good. I got some good names on here. Some people I haven't seen in a while. That's awesome. Love it. I need to see finding and funding. Always the two biggest things that will draw people out to jump on. Okay. Now, we won't be going into federal regulations. Look, we're going to be focused on the things to find deals and to fund them. We're not going to get into which states you need. If you want to do that, you want to sign up for our 3-day virtual workshop. It's going to be on finding and funding. That's it. All right. I'm not going to go into all that stuff. I'm going to go through finding and funding, one lesson each day on each part of it. Some of it may be half an hour or 45 minutes on each one, but that's what it's all about. Okay. Hope it was good. Yes, of course it was good about you, Mr. Salmon. Awesome. Okay. All right, guys. Well, if there are any other questions, I want to let you guys go right under an hour. That's awesome. But we are here to help answer questions. Like I said, 5daynotes.com. That's 5daynotes.com for you guys to get started, get signed up, get your spot RSVP'd. We'll be going in there throughout the day. And once you've clicked on the Facebook group to join, we'll make sure we're letting those guys in. And like I said, make sure once you join the Facebook group, make sure you save my email into your safe email list because we send stuff out, notices. But also introduce yourself, share a photo, a smiling photo, or a short little video about who you are once we've approved you into the Facebook group. But any other questions? And we'll talk to you guys later on then. Have a great evening. Thank you so much. Look forward to seeing you guys being a part of this, having fun over the next couple of weeks. And we'll see you all at the top, everybody. Bye. Hi, Janelle. You're welcome, Anthony. Nope. Stephen, check if you're in the WCN crew, just register for the free and we'll manually update you on our side. So just register for the VIP. I'm sorry, just register for the regular one, Stephen, and you'll automatically have access. We're just getting you guys into the Facebook group on that. So I've already got you tagged for that already, Stephen. So you're good to go, buddy. All right. Good to see you, Sylvia. Good stuff.